everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Great Black Speakers Podcast, where we connect through conversation. I am your host, Lawrence Watkins. I am the founder and CEO of Great Black Speakers Bureau. I'm also the president and chief operating officer of the Black Business School. And today we have a very special guest, or two very special guests. We are here with the CEO and COO of Innovative Senior Solutions, and we're here with Eshonda Blue. I believe she's on your left, or she's on your far end, and closer to the middle is Jessica Wright. And Innovative Senior Solutions is a senior care facility that keeps seniors from having to go to nursing homes. And they're going to be talking today about the opportunities in the billion-dollar senior care industry. So Jessica, or Eshonda and Jessica, how are you all doing today?
Good, doing well.
All right. Well, you guys have been, very successful entrepreneurs. I'm going to let you tell your story, but you have a thriving senior care business. Can you tell the audience a little bit about what you currently do and how you all got to this point, I guess, in your entrepreneurial journey?
Okay. So currently what we do is we have residential facilities for seniors and people with disabilities. They're actually called personal care homes because they're smaller homes. The largest facility we have is 24 beds, and then we have a facility that's 8 beds, and then we have one that's 6. And then we also have adult daycare facilities, and that's where the seniors come in the day and go home in the evening. It's just like daycare for kids. We do daycare for seniors. And this allows them also to stay in the community longer. And so we do adult day. And then we also provide transportation for seniors who need transportation in our communities. So that's a little bit about what we do. And then we just started launching, we'll be launching this week our master class where we'll be teaching people how to start their own personal care homes.
Got it. Well, how did you guys tell me about your journeys in terms of getting into the space to begin with? So, how did that even all start?
You want to touch on it? Well, we're sisters, by the way.
Oh, okay.
It's my baby sister, but we're both registered nurses. And I've worked in a nursing home like 20 something years. And Jessica's also worked in a nursing home. And so we saw a lot of challenges that seniors face that live in a nursing home. A lot of them that were there really didn't need to be there. They could have been home if they just had a caregiver. And when I first started working in the nursing homes, I thought this is a place where seniors come to die. And I soon learned it's a place where they go to live. And so it hit home for me and her when our grandmother, about 14 years ago, our grandmother got where she couldn't walk. And she needed hip replacement, but she just wouldn't have the surgery. And she told Jessica and myself, she said, I do not want to go to a nursing home. And, a lot of seniors, even today, a lot of seniors and their family members think that is the only solution for seniors as they age. And so we know we didn't want that for our grandmother. And so our grandmother was our very first client. We started our company because of that statement that she told us. And we actually started doing in-home care first. We started our business in a business incubator at the local technical school here in our town. We were in a cubicle with one desk, one chair, one file cabinet, and we stayed there for 3 years and grew our business. To when we grew our business up to last year, we had over 100 caregivers. We served over 250 clients, and we sold that business for 7 figures last year. So it grew pretty big. And so we found out a lot of people, just like our grandmother, wanted to stay home. So that's how we got started. And then, of course, we started joining conventions and associations, trying to learn more about the industry. And then we start learning more about other ways seniors could stay in the community, which is our mission, by the way, which is to improve the lives of seniors by keeping them safe in their home or community as long as possible. And when we started going to these different associations, we started learning about adult day, personal care homes, and these are other community options for seniors to be able to stay home or in the community longer. So that's how we got here.
That's an amazing story, and I want to just dig deeper into it. So, did you all come from an entrepreneurial family, or are you all like the first entrepreneurs in your family?
So yes, we have a long line of entrepreneurs on both sides of our family. Our dad is an entrepreneur. We have another sister who is an entrepreneur. Our brother also. Our grandparents on both sides were entrepreneurs. So yes, we have come from a long line of entrepreneurs.
How are the conversations in your family then, in terms of a day-to-day type of basis with like so many different entrepreneurs? Do you have any comparison, I guess maybe to just other families that you know, in terms of the types of discussions that you all have, since so many of your families, I guess, independent in terms of just starting Black-owned businesses?
I'm gonna give you my spiel on that. And interesting to say, there was no conversations, which is one of my pet peeves. Like, I didn't know anything about entrepreneurship or never thought about it. I think I was 30 when we started our business. Jessica's 8 years younger than me, so she was like 21, 22. And the first thing when we reflect now, we think about, we look at all these entrepreneurs in the family, but nobody talks about it, right? Nobody talked about it. In fact, one of the things that I'm on a board here in our local community, we're starting a career and college academy. And the reason I got on that board is because I wanted to make sure entrepreneurship was taught to the children. So we were never exposed to that, not in school, we were exposed, but really didn't know what it was, right? We just know, for us, we just saw our dad trying to make a living. And we never really explored what that meant. And so, of course, now we want to make sure we on purposely share that with our children and our family. But the conversations before us, there was no conversations. So that's just crazy, but that's the reality.
Why do you think that it was? Because you have such a long history of entrepreneurship. Why do you think those conversations did not happen in your family?
I do not know. That is a good question. I don't know why that conversation never came up. Even how to run a business, or some of the do's and don'ts, and some things you can do to, if you get in trouble, how to save your business, or reading financial statements. All that stuff we had to learn along the way. It was never passed down. So I don't know if they didn't do those things. Um, but I just know the conversations I've had. And so we want to make sure that we make a difference with that, definitely.
And then I don't know the level of success, right? So, our business is very successful, and I would say, my dad is kind of like a mom and pop with, would say kind of business, and so, he talks to us about business things, but then, you know, he's always saying maybe that's too much. Don't, he's scared to take that leap. Whereas, we as a younger generation, we want to do it. We see it. We know we can achieve it. I don't know if it's just our older generation was just hard workers and just wanted, something for themselves. And but it just wasn't taught to us. They just didn't talk to us about it. I don't know.
No, yeah, that's interesting. Then, where you all located?
Georgia, Southwest Georgia, Americus, Georgia.
Like
Okay.
on a dirt road, Georgia.
Yeah, so you guys started this business on the dirt road of Georgia. Uh, so I want to so that's very interesting. I'm just listening to your story. I just have so many questions, to ask you. So what were you all doing before you started entrepreneurship? So you said 17 years ago, 16 years ago, or how long ago was it?
13 years
Oh,
ago.
13 years ago. So what were your professions before you started?
We're both registered nurses, so we both worked in pretty much every role of healthcare nursing, from being a caregiver, LPN, to registered nurse, to administrators of nursing homes and consulting.
Okay. What was that leap looking? What did that leap look like? Working for someone else as a RN, versus starting this business with your grandmother being the very first client. So how did the people around you react to that? Even starting with your grandmother in terms of her agreeing for you all to, be her, or you all, or I guess you all, her being your first client. Like, what did that look like in terms of that transition to entrepreneurship?
Well, my grandmother, she had other home care agencies um, prior to our agency starting, and the issue was they would not show up. It was no agency that was local, and so the agency that was coming in to see our grandmother was their corporate office was like an hour and a half away, and so we could never talk to management. We never saw anyone. We could never voice a complaint, and it was just the issue that, threw a monkey wrench in our day if someone didn't show up to take care of our grandmother. So we just saw a need here in our community. And we wanted to not only meet our grandmother need, but to meet the needs of so many other individuals that was going through that same thing. And again, for us being in nursing homes, we saw a lot of people that really could have been in their home and not in the nursing home, be maintained in their home if they had an agency locally.
Now, you come from a family of entrepreneurs. What did they say when you stated that you were going to quit your nursing jobs to, take care of your grandmother and to start this business?
Well, it didn't really start like that. So when we started our business, like I said, we started in a business incubator. We both were registered nurses. And I want to talk about that a little bit later too, but we were both registered nurses and we both worked our jobs, right? We both continued working our jobs, and we would go, when we got off in the evening and weekends, we spent a lot of time on our business and continue to grow it. Well, the business in 3 years got where it could support one of us coming on full time. And so Jessica made the leap. We made the decision for her to come on full time. And then I want to say, was it 3 months after Jessica came on, I lost my job. And I worked in corporate America. I was a consultant for a nursing home corporation. And make a long story short, I hurt my back. And when I hurt my back, I was on workers' comp. And they were following me around, and they asked me, did I have a business? And I told them I had a business. I didn't share that with them before then, but I told them I had a business. And when I told them that, they told me that was a violation of my contract. And so I don't even know if I would have left my job, because it was a very good paying job. I felt that security. I tell people all the time, if that wouldn't have happened, I probably would have still been working there. So I feel like it was God giving me the push to move forward, because when I came on board, like I said, the company was only able to support one of us financially. We went on like a marketing world tour. We marketed every day. We were knocking on doors. We were going to every doctor office, every hospital. We were going to every health fair. We would go anywhere, churches, church events. We would go anywhere where anyone would listen about the service that we had that we knew was great. And I would say in that year we doubled in sales, and it's been history since.
That's amazing, to think about. So I interview a lot of entrepreneurs, and you hear that story quite often, where something happens where they get laid off or lose their job. In your case, you're on workers' comp, and they said, you're in violation of something, that type of thing. And that is the push that they actually needed to propel their life to the next level. How did you all decide, for Jessica to quit her job first?
Well, Jessica worked locally. She was here in Americus. Americus is the name of the city that we're in. She worked locally here. In my job, I traveled. And I guess I had more tenure. I had been on my job 7 years. And so we just kind of made that decision for her to start first.
I love it. So, everyone that's just tuning in, I'm here with Eshonda Blue and Jessica Wright. They are the CEO and COO of Innovative Senior Solutions, a senior care facility that keeps seniors from having to go to nursing homes. You can find out more about their service down in Ameris, Georgia at innovativesenior-solutions.com. That is innovativesenior-solutions.com. And they actually have a new course talking about how, we as, Black folk and just people in general can get a part of this billion-dollar industry, which is senior care. So please make sure that you like this video, share, and subscribe if you would like to receive more financial content like the content we're producing today here with Eshonda and Jessica. So, let's switch gears a little bit and talk about, I guess, the industry and the business a little bit. So, what opportunities do you see, I guess, within the senior care market, and why is this a good market for, African Americans to get in around the nation?
Well, we always like to talk about the statistics, right? The numbers. And we know that the senior population is the fastest growing population in the world. And so, here in Georgia, over 1 million people turn 65 every day. And it's saying for the next 10 to 20 years, 10,000 people will turn 65 every day. And so this is not only an opportunity, but it's a challenge for providers like us in the industry, where it's not going to be enough providers to meet the need and the demand. And so, it's a challenge. It's going to be the baby boomers, so the numbers of seniors that will be needing care for the next 10 to 20 years is going to be astronomical. We've heard many of people refer to this time as the silver tsunami. And so we're just trying to get ready. We're trying to get individuals educated and made aware of the profitable senior care billion-dollar industry, and how they can impact and help other seniors live out their last days, in a quality home. So that's what we want to do.
Got it. So before the interview, so you said you all are a senior care facility that keeps seniors from having to go to nursing homes. And my first question that I thought to myself is, what's the difference between a senior care facility and a nursing home? So can you explain that to me?
Yeah. So a nursing home is a skilled facility. It can be all the way up to, I've seen them as large as 300 beds, 300 people living in there. It's institutional living. It's where you have people that go to a nursing home need skilled care. That means they need a registered nurse or a licensed practical nurse. An example of people that live in the nursing home may be seniors with pressure ulcers. They may have dementia, Alzheimer's really bad. They need IV fluids. It's a skilled type of care. And it's also, I want to point out, it's institutional care. So an example, like one of the wings I used to work in a nursing home, I had 30-something client residents on my wing, and I only had 2 caregivers in the day and 1 caregiver in the evening and at night. So you have one person taking care of 30 people at one time on a shift. So you're going to get, for the best facilities, you'll get the best care that they can possibly give, but it'll never be one-on-one. So it's an institutional way of care. And some people do need a nursing home, but we stress it's only those people that get to that level where they need that type of skilled care, right? However, in the facilities we run, they're called personal care homes. Sometimes people call them assisted living. It's less institutional. A lot of our facilities that we have look like homes. They are embedded in the community. So it can be a residential home of a family right next door. So it's in the community. It's small in nature. Like I said, some of our facilities only 6 people can be in here. And the largest one we have is 24. So 24 is the largest we can go in our industry and still be considered a community option. And like I said, it's still a part of the community. It's smaller people there, and it's more family-like and not as institutional.
Now, did you know about these personal care facilities before you went on your world tour, that type of thing, or in terms of learning about adult daycares and that type of stuff, or what did the learning process look like about these, learning about these additional options?
Yeah, I would say when we first started in-home care, that's when we used to send the caregivers into the home. We heard of personal care homes, I had never heard of adult day. And so, like I said, when we joined those associations and started trying to learn more about the industry, we were introduced to those things. And we was like, this is something that we need to do here. It wasn't one here at all. And so we opened the first one here. We have three actually, and so, or we've opened three. And so it was an opportunity that we wanted to jump into.
And so really we've been doing, I know we said we've been doing in-home for 13 years, but we've also been doing adult day for 9 years and personal care homes for about 7 years. So even though we've been doing all of them all along, and so we just, um, after last year, decided to just focus on adult day and residential.
That's interesting. So you sold your, and I want to get back to adult day and residential in terms of the value proposition to the senior citizens, right? In terms of why are they so intrigued, or their families are so intrigued of doing this, versus, let's say, a nursing home, that type of thing. But before that, I want to actually just jump into, the sale of your business in terms of the one you sold for seven figures, I think you stated. Um, and why did you decide to sell that piece of the business if it was so successful so far?
Um, in-home is a it is very successful. It's a different animal. Again, with the management oversight, of course, you having caregivers that have to go into the home. You're not there to really oversee and um, check on them as you can if they're in a facility. And so we just wanted to get something that was less of a
I'm just gonna be frank.
demand.
Low risk. We were trying to get low risk, high reward. So we made that shift. And doing our research, actually, I can tell you, we had a business consultant that we were working with, and he told us, he said, you need to look at everything you're doing. We had all these different entities: in home, adult day, personal care home, transportation. He said, you need to look at these entities and see which one is the most profitable, right? He said, see which one is the most profitable and do more of that. And so, of course, we found that our adult days and personal care homes were the most profitable out of all the things that we did. And just to give you an example of why, with in-home, for every client we had to send a caregiver. So the margins are smaller, right? So, but with residential care, I have 6 clients, but one caregiver. That just gives you an example of how you can see how there's a difference in margins. And so that was one of the reasons. That was one of the reasons why we decided to make that shift. And then that same business consultant, he got on to us real good. He said, "You guys have no assets. You have no assets." And so a part of that transition when we made that sale was to everything that we leased, because at the time we leased everything, all our facilities, we bought them all. And when we purchased them all, now that as we grow, we're adding more residential facilities, and we have a real estate holding company that the facilities are in that leases back to our innovative senior solutions business. And so it was a strategic plan. It was a part of our plan to make that shift, to make that shift in that
Now
direction.
that's interesting because no, you guys are, I guess, deploying the same business model as of McDonald's in many different ways, right? So, McDonald's, I think in there's a movie called The Founder, talking about Ray Kroc, and in the movie they stated, or somebody stated the other, you're not in the burger business, you're in the real estate business.
There it is.
Right. And and you guys have that same model, and that's interesting. I mean, I think that's really cool that you guys are taking that next step, that next leap. So you sold off this $1 million business and investing it back into these other parts. Let's talk about the end customer and then the secondary customer, which are the family members. What is the value proposition for them to use either a senior care facility, adult daycare, that type of thing, versus, I guess, the just going straight nursing home?
So I'm excited about this. Just you chime in if I leave anything out. But our value proposition, why we're different, is 90% of our clientele is the Medicaid low income population. And if you were to ride around in your community, I know we did in ours, and look at what's out there for the low income population, I could never put my mother or my grandmother there. And so what we have done is taken facilities and we've made them very nice for, even if you were private pay, you would want to live in that facility. And so we're offering high-end, very, very nice facilities for that Medicaid population. And we just opened a 24-bed facility in 3 months ago.
2 months ago.
And we only have 4 openings left. It's almost full. And so that's our strategy. We are providing very nice facilities for people who probably could not afford it, but we're making it available to them. So, yeah.
All right, talk about this learning process a little bit more. Someone asked, for example, in the chat, I believe it was C. Lachie, sorry if I mispronounced your name, like what associations did you join? So talk about that learning process of like the association that you joined, doing your roadshow in terms of marketing, being a part of this business incubator. Talk about how that got you to, the point that you are now, and I guess the next, the next phase of your business evolution.
Yeah, so the first association we joined was our state. It was called Georgia Association of Community Care Providers. That was the first association we joined, and we went there, I think about 3 years, and we felt like, okay, we don't learn, we can learn here. And then we started searching on the internet, and we found a national association. And so the first time, I think it was in California, then 1 year we went to Washington. But anyway, we joined that association, and that really broadened our exposure, because they were talking about things that were coming down the pipe for seniors, things that may not even be out there, most people hadn't been exposed to. And so that helped us a lot, being a part of that national association, hearing that information that's out there, things that are coming. That exposure was huge for us. And so, for example, we came back and we put in a lot of technology in our in-home care. We used GPS systems to track our caregivers. We were totally paperless. We had electronic onboarding, just things that you would probably see in a larger company, and not even in this industry. We had brought those things back and implemented them in our industry, which I think was a reason why we were able to sell, because it was a tight ran facility.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's interesting. So when you started, what was your biggest challenge? Let's say the first step of moving beyond your grandmother. What were, I guess, the biggest challenges that you were facing then? And now that you're a much bigger 7-figure organization, what are, the biggest challenges that you face now?
I would have to say for me, because we look at different things. Like I'm a registered nurse, but I'm all business. I like the business side. I've always been attracted to that. And she's really the clinical person, the hands-on person, the one that makes sure that care is very, quality care. But so for me, I would say for the last 6 years, everything that I've been trying to learn has been about how to scale the business. And one of the things that I've found that when you get to a certain point, you have to learn something else to take it to the next point. And so the biggest challenge I had was learning those financial statements and how to read them and how to use them to forecast and grow the business. We used to just make decisions, and by the grace of God, we was covered, but we didn't have any financial numbers to support that. And so now learning how to use those numbers to really guide where we're going That has been the biggest challenge, and it's the thing that I've worked. I would say the past 5 years I've worked on it. I think I kind of got a little insight now, but it took just that long, and it took going through some things and being in the red. I'm gonna be honest, being in the red, being able to come out of the red, and once you've been in the red, you don't want to ever go back to the red. So anyway, that's been the biggest challenge for me, is how to scale the business and using those financial numbers to make those decisions to scale the business.
And I would say for my portion would be people, right? Because, we're in the people business, we're in providing quality care. So we have to have the right people that are looking not just for a job, but who are passionate about caregiving. And so, finding the right people to provide that quality of care is so very important, because we can market, we can tell our story, but when it comes down to putting the rubber to the road, we gotta walk it out with the care. And so that's what means a lot. So I would say finding the right people, making sure they meet our core values, they live in our mission, and providing that quality of care that we stand for.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. So for the people just tuning in, I am here with Eshonda Blue and also Jessica Wright. They are sisters who are also the CEO and COO of Innovative Senior Solutions, a senior care facility that keeps seniors from having to go to nursing homes. You can find out more about them at innovativeseniorsolutions.com. That is innovativeseniorsolutions.com. And today we're talking about the opportunities in the billion-dollar senior care industry. These ladies have built a seven-figure, successful Black business in rural Georgia. And today they're here sharing their story. So if you guys like this story and like what they have to share, please make sure you give us some thumbs up, show us some love. We would really appreciate that. So on the count of three, so we have about 25 people watching right now. So on the count of three, if you just press the thumbs up button if you have not done so far, I would really appreciate it. 1, 2, 3, please press that thumbs up button. We really appreciate that as well. Eshonda and Jessica, this last segment, I want to get to, there's another audience question. If you guys have audience questions or questions, out there in the audience, please go ahead and write them in chat, and I'll ask Eshonda and Jessica right now to answer them. So my first question, or I guess Jeremy have a few questions. So Jeremy Smith asks, what type of insurance policy is required for something like this? Also, can you talk a little bit more about, I guess, maybe your legal team and risk mitigation in terms of, how you're mitigating the risk? I think the selling of the business was one piece of the risk mitigation, but can you talk about that a little bit more as well?
Okay, well, of course, on our team, that's one of the things that we teach. You need to have a good attorney, you need to have a good accountant, and you need to have a good insurance agent. Okay, those are 3 musts. And of course, our industry kind of governs how much coverage we have to have, which is usually up to $1 million, aggregate of 3. And of course, we have to have liability, general and professional. We have to have workers' comp insurance as well. And insurance have never really been a problem until this year. It was something crazy when this COVID came out, and we just happened to have to renew one of our policies right when this stuff broke out. And they just tried to act like they could not find anybody to write the coverage. We actually got coverage, but it was almost 100% increase.
Oh, wow.
Crazy. But up until this point, it's been fine. And I see now, association told us that bills are being written where they can't price gouge and do all this kind of stuff, and because of COVID. And anyway, that up until that point, it's really been fine.
Okay. Do you all, so I don't see any other questions. If you guys have any questions before we end, just write them in chat, and I'll make sure to ask them. So tell us a little bit more about your course that's coming up and how people can register for it.
Just want to talk about the course.
So this is a new arm also of our business, our consulting, our professional consulting, where we are helping entrepreneurs get into the senior care industry, $1 billion industry. whether it is through residential or adult day. Again, we have, as you heard, we have 13 years of experience of building an industry from ground zero. And so we have been through the hard knocks. We have already created the wheel. And so we want to be able to help other individuals who are looking to enter into this space, be able to enter in with a roadmap of success, and be profitable at the same time. And so that is, so this is how we're getting into the mastermind class. And so we will be doing our first mastermind on August the 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll drop the link in the comments. And definitely you all can go to our website and look at our consultant packages and options where we can help you from start to finish, get licensed, do the submission, pick out your home, make sure it is ready for residential, and also do that same thing in the adult day arena, as well as giving you the policies and procedures that you need. And so really we have, shortened that time from where it would probably take you a year, or you would have to get, the state would tell you to go back and say, you have to get this and that done. This is not correct. We're going to take all of that out of all that headache out, and we have the roadmap ready for you. And we're willing, and we're going to be sharing with you step by step in our series of master classes on how to enter this $1 billion industry.
And I want to add to that. So we didn't really talk much about that tonight, but a part of our consulting is, and we're only doing this in Georgia right now, but we're actually buying, because a lot of people we found want to get in the industry, but they did not have the capital to either buy a facility or buy a home. And so one of the things that we're doing, we are purchasing homes. We are completely renovating them and making them outfitted for personal care home. And we're finding people who want to get in the business. We're leasing the home to them to start their business. And we're calling it turnkey lease facilities. And
that's what I'm talking about. Sorry.
Yeah. So we're excited about that. We've done 3 so far, and we have 3 waiting. I think it's going to blow up, so we're trying to buy, get ready for it. But it's just a lovely thing to see somebody to actually live out their dream, and we're helping people to do that. So yeah.
Wonderful. Let's see here. Avis William asks, how did you go about finding startup funds and marketing and getting your first clients?
I'll get the startup funds and you can talk about marketing. So we actually had a SBA loan. Our very first funding was, I think it was $15,000 SBA loan for capital, but we did a lot of things to reduce our overhead. Like I said, we were in a business incubator, so we had no overhead, actually. We didn't have to pay any rent. At the time, the only thing we had to pay was labor costs, and we were our first labor, so we weren't paying ourselves, of course. So we were able to save that. So we looked at different opportunities to try to keep the expenses down as we grew the business. But that's one of the first loans we got, and we've gotten additional loans along the way. We've gotten there's something called the Regional Commission throughout the state of Georgia, and they lend low interest loans to people who are going into business. We've used that twice. One of the things I found out is when you got cash, they'll give you cash. So if you have no cash, you have a hard time getting cash. So anyway, but yeah, those were some of the loans that we've used in the beginning. And now we've just gone to the bank, and as we get properties, we get funding from the bank as we need it.
And so for marketing, our thing was getting in the community, letting the community know us. And so we joined our local chambers. We got active on boards in our communities. So our community could know us, and they can we can get to know them. And so going to, again, doing anywhere that anyone would allow us to speak, whether it's at lunchings of sororities, whether we were going to doctors' offices, providing lunch, you know, talking to case management, and even going to churches. So we went wherever someone would extend an open invitation. We went and told our story and told individuals about the service that could help their loved ones.
Okay, and I just have a few questions to round us out for today. Well, first, how can people get in touch with you? I know I put the link to the master lecture or master class in the chat, but if they want to learn more about what you guys have to offer, how can they do so?
Again, you can visit us on our website, www.innovativeseniorsolutions.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Innovative Senior Solutions. We also have a senior care business community group. So you can actually join our group if you're interested in being a part of the personal care, adult day, consulting, learning more about that. We have that community as well.
Mhm.
All right, perfect. So I just have a few rapid fire questions, for you all before we get out of here. So this is something new that I'm doing actually with just entrepreneurs that come on the channel. So just answer what comes to your mind with these next few questions. So what is your favorite business book?
Oh my, I have quite a few. I guess the first thing that came to mind was Good to Great.
Good to Great. Same for you, Jessica?
Yes.
All right, cool. Who is your favorite historical figure from Black history?
Oh man, you whipping it out. Just
Martin Luther King.
All right. Let me think. So number 3. Let me think here. So are there any? Go ahead. What'd you say?
I said I want to go back. Now I forgot when I looked at what was her, Madam C.J. Walker, the one that the hair.
Yeah, Madam C.J. Walker. Okay.
Yeah, when I saw her story, and I'm like, that lady was about business. She had a mission, and she made sure it came true. So yeah, I changed it.
All right. So Madam C.J. Walker. That's great. So are there any CEOs or business leaders that you're following right now that's like kind of helping guiding you along?
Oprah just does it the best. So we do love her. We are looking at that Chick-fil-A model very, very closely. We're kind of modeling our business sort of after that. So that would be the 2 for me.
Business CEO. Yeah, Oprah Winfrey does it for me.
All right. How many hours of sleep do you all get at night on average?
Probably 4 for me.
I need my rest. I have to get about 7 or 8.
I heard you on that. Shoot. I just woke up from a nap before this interview. And then my last question is, so you all in your 40s and 30s, is that right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you all wish your 20-year-old self knew?
I wish my 27-year-old knew that I controlled my destiny, that I could control my income. I could, if I had a vision, anything that I saw, that I could really do it. I wish my 20-year-old self knew that.
Wow. I don't know, because in my 20s, I was had my own business, and so I don't know.
That's all right. Yeah. I'm gonna come back in about a month for a follow-up answer in terms of the lesson learned, that type of thing. But no, that's great. So Eshonda and Jessica, thank you all for being a part of this interview today. That's my last question. And if you guys want to learn more, let's see, Jessica, I believe, put your email address here, so I'm gonna drop that in chat as well. But yeah, thank you all for sharing your story, and much success to you and your business moving forward. And if you all like this interview, please make sure you press the thumbs up button and also share and subscribe with other people who may want to use this methodology and get into this industry in terms of business as well. So please make sure you check out their masterclass. You can find out more about their business at innovativesenior.solutions.com. That is innovativesenior.solutions.com. I also like to thank the Black Business School. So at the Black Business School, we don't help you just climb the corporate ladder. We help you build one as well. So what we do is help African Americans to obtain a culturally relevant yet practical education in all things wealth building at an affordable price. People come to us for one of three reasons. They either want additional freedom in their life to spend time with their family, to travel, or to do what I just did and take a nap in the middle of the day. They want to leave a legacy behind to their family and their community, or they want to have stability and security going into their golden retirement years and their silver fox years. Yeah, so that's why they come to us. And we focus on three main pillars of wealth, which are entrepreneurship, stock market investing, as well as real estate investing as well. So get started today at theblackbusinessschool.com. That is theblackbusinessschool.com. Also, in the chat, I really want Eshonda and Jessica to do a course in the Black Business School. So if that's something that you would like to see, please make sure that you just put a comment and just let us know. And because we try to mirror the demand of you all, and if you guys demand the course, we'll do our best to actually make it happen. So on behalf of Eshonda Blue, and also Jessica Wright, my name is Lawrence Watkins. You guys take care, be blessed, and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank